In Washington, D.C., they have this thing where I think it means we're number one in Washington, D.C., but all the pink-haired people throw up this sign, and I think, that means we're number one, right? I choose to take that as that symbol in Washington, but
not how it
Ms.
works,
Stansbury,
Madam.
you're not recognized.
Madam Chairwoman, that is not how Parliament.
Ms. Stansbury, you're not recognized.
All day, but that's not how
Ms. Stansbury, you're not
parliamentarians-
recognized.
We're going to get you a Robert's
Ms.
Rules of
Stansbury,
Order
you're
and
not-
the-
You're listening.
Yeah, like all the time I'm listening.
WATB with Christian, Eric, and Carl sometimes.
Listen in your office, in your car, or even your neighborhood bar.
We're doing it. We're doing it. We're having fun. We're making it happen.
It's fun time. Open your mouth, close your eyes. We're going to give you a big surprise. And here it is.
Welcome to Who Are These Broadcasters? I'm Christian Bladt. He's Eric Zane. And the beauty of live stuff, Eric, is seconds before the opening, the theme song was going to end, my entire StreamYard just fritzed out and I had to reload it. And I think
I saw it happen. I saw it happen.
You saw me disappear.
Yeah.
And it's all right. I was cool. I was calm. I was collected. And here we are. Easy. We've got a lot to get to today. So there's important stories to talk about. There's an important t-shirt that you're wearing, which I think Calverton's has noticed. And we have an important question from a guy named Carl Heberger. Christian's still on the show for now. There's a probationary period, but we need to dive in to two of the biggest stories that have happened maybe this entire year. But before we do that, what's more important than stories? I know. Tell everybody how super chats work on this program.
Well, we've been getting a lot of buzz lately. The goal in mind is to send the super chats our way instead of to the rich people like Vinny and Carl. So
right. The haves.
Awesome.
Send them to the have-nots, not the haves. Yes.
There you go. So if you want Christian to sign off with him saying something ridiculous or whatever, however you want to term it, Christian is the guy who, if you get him to say something ridiculous about maybe his love for the viewer or how much he loves Tom Myers, that would be outstanding. And you can do it by adding a dollar amount to it. The higher, the better, because the one with the highest dollar amount is what the sign-off will be.
Yes. So please put dirty things into my mouth. Let's get started with some national news.
WATV, who are these national news? Who are these national newscasters?
The last time we did this show, I don't think we knew yet, but Diddy's innocent, mostly innocent, innocent of the most important stuff.
He's not guilty.
He's not guilty. Well, yeah. But what's the difference between not guilty and innocent? It's a good thing we're going to have a lawyer with us in a few minutes because I don't know the difference between not guilty and innocent. But the verdict gets read. Here is the courtroom sketch. That is probably not the best picture of Diddy because...
Mid-word. Our lovely guest, our talented guest, hang tight. We have a lawyer in attendance.
Yeah.
Will support this.
I did disappear again, so I'm very worried about StreamYard for the course of this whole show. I didn't touch anything. You saw me talking.
No, it was great. It was mid-sentence.
Yeah. So, I don't know that he's positioned necessarily in a way that he should be. And now I'm thinking, can I try and use another browser for StreamYard? There's a lot of questions.
Well, as you know, the professional that I am, if we get into any trouble, I've got this. I could go 5 straight hours.
So that is definitely so Chad's missing upper lip. Thanks for the $4.99 after the abortion of episode 100. I could use a free hug, Eric.
What?
# fire Blatt.
I keep hearing weird scuttle. We need to get into that more and more about there's a weird vibe.
Look, all I know about episode 100, and maybe we'll talk about it later on in the show, is that it's our fastest episode to ever go to 2,000 views. So we must have done something right. Yeah.
Seconds after I got done, Carl texted me, or we got done. Carl texted me, goes, I didn't realize how talented Tom actually was. It took me a while to figure that out, but I'm starting to get it. And so he said that he thoroughly enjoyed Tom Myers, and that kind of led, to just that type. Oh my gosh, it's happening. It's actually happening. Holy crap. No, we had an outstanding time. I've not understood any of the nonsense that has been people blowing up about Tom Myers, but Carl loved it. Carl loves Tom Myers.
That's an interesting stance. Dwyer Christian, reboot the fucking PC. I just did. Just before this.
Wow.
So that's the problem. I rebooted it. And you're not getting kicked off. Our guest isn't getting kicked off. It's just me.
Yeah.
So I'll have to figure out what we need to do about it. But Hamilton Berger does have a great point. Does Christian Bladt also ignore member chats? So why don't you go over to the starred chats for a moment? It might be a moment before I'm back because I'm going to restart again because I don't know what else to do.
All right, I'll take over.
Yeah, you take over for a little bit, but I'll be back again.
We can't have this happening. I apologize to our guest. I don't want to give away who it is. I need to tell you that This is the first time this has ever happened. Normally, this is a professional operation, but sometimes technical issues kind of get stuck in the mud here. So we'll get through this. Nevertheless, Hamilton Berger, who's been a member for 2 months, says, I, for one, am surprised that there is an episode 101 of WATB, considering how Mr. Hamburger reacted to episode 100. Regardless, carry on, CB, and EZ. So, yeah, I didn't actually see it or hear it, but I find it interesting that Carl would have anything negative to say about that show, considering how much off of the broadcast he revealed to us that he loved it. He offered accolades and congratulations and all things that made me feel good. All right. Let's see. So no Tom Myers this week. Well, no, I mean, we only save Tom Myers for special moments. Carl cannot stand that Tom Myers stopped by WATB. Dwyer Christian says, don't believe that. That's not.
I wouldn't believe that. By the way, GSDLMJ. This is, I don't know what that stands for. I hope I didn't just abbreviate. So this is my first episode of WATB, probably my last. It's worse than I thought. You know, I'm not even saying that you're wrong, that this isn't worse than you thought, but it's not usually like this, is it?
No, it's.
I do like that Carl has to say, I swear I'm not doing it. I know he's not doing it. I can see my browser crash every time.
I know it's not. I mean, come on.
Yeah, you should, you know what? Dwyer Christian has a point. Let's get Hackride. He runs a pro shop. Hackride's going to teach me how to use EV-Mux. So we have some stuff that I want to show, some more things, but just in case I fall off again, we're talking about legal matters here. So I thought, let's get an actual lawyer. Let's get KNBC-TV legal analyst, host of Too Many Lawyers, my friend Royal Oakes. Royal, thanks for being here. Say hello to Eric Zane.
Christian, thank you so much for having me. Could I make a couple of introductory remarks?
Please, yes.
So first of all, so you're saying I wore this tie for absolutely no reason?
No reason.
No reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
Second of all, you know, in the legal field, there's a cause of action called emotional distress. Intentional infliction is the most serious. For a guest to be subjected to freezing of the images, that's emotional distress. And I probably won't sue you guys, but that's okay. Third, Hamilton Berger, I thought he died from lung cancer after losing 99 out of 100 cases against Perry Mason. So I am confused, but I'm glad that there's somebody out there with a name. And fourth and finally, I counted them up. Eric, it's lovely to meet you. And I have to say, my grandfather loved Zane Grey's books. I was just wondering, I know the names are flipped a little, but any chance you're related?
No. I actually am named after former bodybuilder Zane, Frank Zane. Frank Zane was the guy's name. He's no longer in the game.
Oh,
but yeah, that's where that comes from. It's not my real last name. My real last name is something Armenian, which is difficult to say, but being that you're kind of where a lot of Armenians live in Southern California, Glendale area, of course. Hopefully you've had dinner at Rafi's in Glendale.
Oh, well, I'll have to check it out. Anyway, it's a pleasure to be with you guys, and happy to talk about how happy Diddy is this week compared to how he was last week.
Let me ask you this right from the jump. Were you surprised at how this unfolded?
Funny you should mention that. Christian was kind enough to mention my podcast, Too Many Lawyers, and I usually do it with my son, Connor, but I did one solo where I just bloviated on Diddy for a half hour the day before the deliberations began. And I'm proud to say, I said during the episode, we legal analysts don't predict. It's a bad look. It's like, we have a crystal ball in our head. I predicted he would be totally acquitted. Now, of course, I was wrong, but by and large, he was a big winner. He was really happy, even though he was convicted of 2 prostitution counts. So I thought that the case sucked. I thought he was going to walk. So I was mostly right, but not entirely.
It seemed like there was a lot of smoke and not a lot of meat in this thing because of the fact of the salaciousness of it. But it was still a lot of he said, she said, with not a lot of evidence, even though there was a lot of weirdness in it. But what do you is that kind of what you were thinking during the course of this trial?
Well, first, I was a little confused by your mixed metaphor because when you went with the smoke, I thought the M word mirrors was coming, and you threw a curve.
Teeth,
you used
smoke,
meat.
meat. That was it.
I don't think anybody's used smoke and meat before, and it could catch on. I'm not saying it's a bad idea.
A lot of smoke and meat.
Yeah. So let me give you my 20-second recap of Diddy. Horrible overcharge. Here's a bad guy who beat up his girlfriend. We all saw it 800 times. Should have been prosecuted for that. Years, a decade goes by. So the government says, I know, we'll call him a racketeer and a sex trafficker and bringing all this stuff about the arson. He probably torched his rival's Porsche. He probably broke into the house. So that's burglary. And he's probably mean to all these ladies. We know he was mean to ladies. And I think the jury sensed that there was just no there. When you talk about sex trafficking, there's a poor woman on the streets of Port-au-Prince, Haiti. They snatch her, they put her in a brothel in Miami, and they chain her there for years. That's sex trafficking. These were girlfriends. They testified private messages, not social media. It's my job to make him look good on social media. Private messages before the beatings, after the beatings. I love you. You're fabulous. They love to be on the arm of one of the most famous guys in the world. They hated being beaten up, of course. So I think the jury sensed that. And the credibility issues were enormous. One of the women scored $20 million in a settlement against Diddy. Another scored $400,000. And so the ladies are lined up to sue him. Of course, just because you sue doesn't mean it didn't happen to you, but it gave a huge cross-examination benefit to the defense because they were able to point out, you've changed your story. You clearly were romantically involved with him. This isn't sex trafficking. And racketeering, that's John Gotti and Al Capone with Tommy guns and thugs. There were no thugs. There was just the one thug. So I thought the case was doomed from the start. And in fact, I thought that's why they made the first week of the trial an endless loop of the beating video to cause the jury to say, we hate this guy. Any way we can, we're going to find him guilty. And they had to do that. The government had to because they knew that there were these flaws in their case.
Christian Bladt is back with us. He is. I was just talking with Royal about some of the ins and outs of the case, whether or not he was surprised. I threw in a mixed metaphor that was horrible.
Oh, now I have to rewind.
Horrible. I just questioned.
That was interesting. It was different. It was different.
It's not what Royal's used to. He's a professional. He doesn't come on a lot of rinky-dink shows like ours. Easy.
You mean I'm getting paid for this?
I didn't say that, Royal.
Oh, okay.
Have you guys ever gotten drunk together?
We've had a drink or two, but usually
does a meth weekend count?
No, he said drunk, Royal. Let's not talk about that.
The bad connection. Sorry.
Yeah, in like a luxury suite at Angel Stadium, we maybe had a drink or two, but
that counts.
We've never gotten, as the kids might say, S-faced. There's a lot of reactions to what's going on with Diddy. And I'm confident that this is going to work because I'm on a less good computer that doesn't work anywhere near as well as the one that I usually have been using. Easy.
Well, so if you fail again, it's no problem. Royal and I are doing the show.
You guys are.
You can check in here and there on your iPhone and your Commodore VIC-20.
I have a question about show protocol. I thought I heard the full F-bomb without asterisks earlier, and yet we say S-face? I mean, isn't that a double standard?
Exactly. And he's already gone. So now, okay, if you remember, he started the show out and he was all excited, and then that failed. Then the dummy gets another computer. Yeah. Now he's going to get his Amiga computer, maybe his Commodore 64, perhaps even his iPhone or his Android.
I blame Tim Cook for all of this, Eric, and I think it's so funny when Donald Trump was talking about Tim Cook a year or two ago. He referred to him as Tim Apple. Anybody could make that mistake.
Yeah, you guys keep talking about Diddy. I'll be back. We'll see what happens.
Shut up. Get out of here.
Well, since we're talking about Trump, I digressed a moment. Some people are seriously wondering, will Trump pardon him? Because you remember, Eric, a few months ago, somebody asked Trump, well, you're going to pardon Sean Combs? And he said, I haven't been following the case closely, but nobody's asked, but I'd think about it if they asked. So, I mean, would it be a shock if he pardoned him and said, look, the jury, they overcharged him. The jury found him guilty of prostitution, but, it was just his girlfriends and so on. I wouldn't be surprised if, he pardons him and makes him an ambassador to Switzerland.
I know we're going down a rabbit hole here, but you mentioned pardons. Did you follow the Making a Murderer story?
No, which is that?
All right, never mind. That was Stephen Avery in Wisconsin. He was convicted of a murder, and he had a family member that was also dragged into it named Brendan Dassey, who was...
Ooh, yikes.
When it comes to the Diddy trial, when you look at like O.J. Simpson, there was a real division in race. Was that here this time with this case? Do you think we had that type of... I noticed a lot of people outside of the courtroom spraying themselves with baby oil. I don't know if I anticipated being quite as elaborate of a division in race, but did you get that impression?
Yeah, interesting question. First of all, on the baby oil, I think the followers got off easy because you may remember from the history, this is before you were born, of course, but when Charles Manson was on trial, his followers, after he carved a swastika in his forehead, I think he got it wrong because he was looking in the mirror and then it came out, oh, it's a backwards swastika, Mr. Manson. They did the same thing. They carved. So if you sprayed baby oil on your body, I think that's much less serious than maiming yourself permanently and sending a totally wrong message to the general population. But on the race issue, it was 8 men and 4 women. I don't remember the exact racial balance, but I think it was a diverse jury. I didn't think that people got the sense that there were racial issues here. There was one fellow, I think he may have been a black hip hop fan who lived in New Jersey, but he kind of fibbed and said he lived in the Bronx, thus being eligible for being in the jury pool because it was a New York district of the federal court. And they kicked him off well into the trial. And some people were saying, wow, he person of color, hip hop fan, he might have hung him up. So there might not have been any convictions, but that's just speculation. And that's, sort of stereotyping. There was a lot of talk, as you alluded to back in the day, when there was the OJ jury. And of course, the point I like to make about the OJ Simpson case, and we put a fine point on it when Christian and I interviewed Marcia Clark on my podcast a few months ago. If the trial of OJ had been held in the judicial district where the murders happened, which is what you're supposed to do, he very likely would have been convicted of murder, just as all 12 of the jurors in that West LA section found him liable for wrongful death a year after he was found not guilty of the murder. Right. So yeah, there are racial issues in some of these cases, but not so much with Combs. I think he's sort of a post-racial guy, maybe.
So now when it comes to what is going to happen to him, what do you see as an outcome for a possible sentence?
Interesting question. We learned from the jury, okay, guilty on 2 prostitution counts, 10 years maximum for each. So that's a max of 20, unless the judge said, well, you could do them at the same time concurrently. So that makes it a max of 10. But here's the dirty little secret. The federal sentencing guidelines say he's going to be out in 4 years. But wait, there's more. He spent 9.5 years in the joint waiting for this trial. So he gets credit for that. And if he keeps his nose clean while behind bars, he gets probably another 7 or 8 months off of that. Not quite as generous on the federal side when it comes to good time served stuff. So bottom line is he will be out probably exactly 3 years from right now, assuming that he doesn't get some relief. Now, he asked to be freed on bond, $1 million bond, ankle bracelet, whatever you want, judge. And the judge said, nice try. We don't do that for guys like you with a history of violence. By the way, fantastic movie with, Viggo Mortensen and William Hurt. I don't know if you guys are fans. So he's sitting in jail pending his appeal. But, he might get some relief. He might get pardoned by Trump. And if not, I bet he writes a heck of a book during those 3 years.
He's still got $400 million, by the way. His
Really?
net worth has taken a tremendous hit at defending himself and lost revenue from various, whatever it is
Wow.
The mogul had going for him.
Mm-hmm.
As we turn to the one and the only Christian Bladt, who now is up to 90 seconds, I believe, of a working technical arrangement. What's the latest, Christian?
Well, what's the latest is that similar to the O.J. Simpson trial, there was a lot of celebration outside of the courthouse, and I wanted to share a little of that. You're going to have to look for there's baby oil on some of these people.
Right. There's Wesley Snipes. I see Arsenio Hall.
That lady is jumping.
There goes the wig.
I don't know what she's gonna do, y'all.
We don't know what she's gonna do, y'all. We could probably
that's just demonstration of how times change, guys. Back in the day when you referred to a blue hair, you're talking about Grandma Moses. She sits around knitting all the time. That's a blue hair. This lady is not your mother's blue hair.
Well, I wanted to keep it family friendly because she did get a little carried away, and this was wild. This scene out there. I guess any public figure, Royal, if they're found even semi not guilty, there's going to be celebration. Is it? This probably isn't that entirely shocking to you after one of these big celebrity cases.
No, not at all. It's kind of weird, the love affair many Americans have with celebrities. And the most dramatic and the weirdest of all examples are the marriage proposals. Oh, Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, he snuck into bedrooms and slashed the throats of blue-haired ladies, and some women want to marry him. I don't get it. I'm not sure if anybody wanted to marry Martha Stewart other than maybe Snoop Dogg. So maybe there's a sexism problem here. But yeah, the phenomenon of high-profile trials, attracting people like a magnet. In a way, it's good. I celebrate it, not only because it's fun for me to drop sound bites on it, but I think it's a way Americans learn about their legal system. You find out about double jeopardy and, civil trials after criminal trials and credibility of witnesses, all sorts of really good kind of inside baseball stuff that people should know and understand. And we used to learn about it from Perry Mason when Hamilton Berger lost every week, but we really don't so much. And if we don't learn about it and understand it and figure out what's good and what's bad, we won't be in a position to make decisions about reforming the system. So that, in that sense, that's the silver lining. But there's a dark cloud up there, and that a lot of people are just totally obsessed with celebrity and kind of set aside their values and ignore the fact that, the guy likes to beat up women, even though they overcharged him.
Speaking of beating up, I don't know if he does it. But Chad's missing upper lip says that Christian traffics Asian women. #fire Blatt.
He's still upset about last week. Go ahead with Dwyer Christian there.
Dwyer says, what does Royal think about Vince the lawyer versus Stuttering John? You couldn't possibly be up to speed on that nonsense, could you?
I remember Stuttering John as a sidekick of Howard Stern. Yeah. Vince the lawyer is not. I remember Vince was the guy, the ShamWow guy who the hooker bit his tongue off.
Okay.
You've exhausted my knowledge of pop culture.
That's all you need.
We might do a bonus episode on that. One thing I want to get to is we showed the celebration. There are some congratulations that came from Diddy. This one's from 50 Cent. And the way that it's formatted, I believe it's getting cut off there on the bottom. But can you read a little of that, Easy?
It said, Diddy beats the feds. That boy a bad man. Beat the Rico. He the gay John Gotti. That can't possibly. Holy shit.
He's the gay John Gotti. That was one that I had to get in there for sure. So obviously there's some challenges to the way I'm trying to do the show right now. But I feel like we've talked a lot about Diddy at this point. I wanted to ask Royal if you're surprised at the revelation that apparently there is no Jeffrey Epstein client list.
How weird for, I guess it was Pam Bondi, the current attorney general under Trump, to have said a few months ago, I have in my hand a list of pedophiles who will be revealed. Apparently she had on her desk a list of people who had been friends of his or visited Pedo Island or whatever. I mean, how idiotic to, first of all, to say that if you didn't have the goods, and obviously she didn't, or now, conspiracy theorists say they're covering it up. But also, did she forget who her boss was? Her boss is pictured smiling happily back in the day with Jeffrey Epstein. Now, nobody's come out with any evidence that Donald Trump did anything horrible in connection with Epstein. But the fact that his picture was there, and the fact that people, love to speculate about it, for his own attorney general to kind of dredge this up again, what was she thinking?
Well, you know, it makes you wonder, was at the time, maybe they all thought there was a list. I mean, for years we had been talking about this list, and information goes from one administration to the next. I don't know. Is it that outrageous for them to like have it on their list of things to do to investigate this, only to find out that there's actually nothing there at all?
Yeah, no, it's kind of weird. I remember back in the day, for some reason, I was into studying about McCarthyism. And the story was Joe McCarthy began his anti-communist demagogic crusade, or is it demagogic, by holding up a piece of paper saying, I have in my hand a list of 57 communists. And then he'd go to Wheeling, West Virginia and say, it's 206. And he never showed a list. There weren't any names. But this is different. I think you're right. I mean, it's legitimate to look into it. I mean, his pal, Giselle, however you say her name, was sent away for 20 years. He was convicted, and they say they kept studying it. It was suicide. It wasn't murder. But easily there could be why wouldn't a guy like that maintain a list of people he could lord it over and blackmail and so on? But it's just now for them to say, oh, nothing to see here. Return to your homes. There's no list. There's no nothing. It's so fishy, and it gives fuel to wackos like Alex Jones, the InfoWars guy, who's saying now, oh, they're covering it up. Weird fight between Jones and the hardcore MAGA folks, because he's throwing shade on Donald Trump, just like Elon Musk essentially accusing Trump of a pedophile. What is he? Just a mental patient? You drop $250 million on the guy, and then you turn around and basically call him a pedophile? I mean, he must have an anger management problem right up there with Diddy's. I mean, I realize his money, I guess he's 250 billionaire, so he's the richest guy in the world. So 10%, 25 billion, 1%, 2.5 billion. So giving Trump 250 million is 1/10 of 1% of his net worth, which is gas money for his boat. I guess I get that. But boy, he's burned his bridges.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the great Alex Jones, and because
he used that term loosely.
Well, he took it pretty badly. I don't think anybody took this worse than Alex Jones.
Has become part of it. I mean, it's just you cannot see it any other way. So I just got to the office. I'm going to go throw up, actually. And this only happens every few years when something really, really bad happens or something. I mean, I'm
only every few years.
I'm going to puke probably right now. My mouth is watering right now. It's because I have integrity. And
I have integrity.
I just really need the Trump administration to succeed and to save this country, and they're doing so much good. And then for them to do something like this.
Wow,
he's taking so much.
I have to say, when he talks about throwing up, maybe you guys remember an iconic Breaking Bad episode where a young woman threw up and non-hilarious consequences ensued. So, that could be for this guy to say I have integrity. This is the guy. If you read the papers, he said that the Sandy Hook shooting didn't happen. Those children never died. How in the world you could say that, knowing there are families and extended families? The worst thing that could ever happen to you in your life would be to lose a 5, 6, 7-year-old kid. And he says it didn't happen. Yeah. And now I don't know why he's still. I hope that's a 14-year-old Prius that he stole that he's in. Because if he has any money at all, if he has any career at all, I guess if women want to marry the Night Stalker, I guess some people want to listen to Alex Jones, but I don't get it.
Well, go ahead, Easy.
Yeah, what stands out to me, I had a hard time following him because he's eaten so much Ozempic that his head, his skull looks like Reginald Denny.
Oh no! Oh boy. Well, I enjoy the circumstance and the pomp that comes with Alex Jones, and this is a rough day for him. So obviously, you highlighted something that he has been found financially responsible for, just like OJ. But this is a day that he's in real pain. So let's see if we can have some respect for InfoWars.
Tears my guts out.
Tears his guts out.
The left, they're all complicit. They're openly promoting pedophilia. We know they're pure evil. I mean, and they'll think it's all funny. Oh,
tell us something we don't know, Alex.
MAGA's tearing itself apart. Your globalist masters literally want you to eat bugs and live in a 5G, 200 square foot coffin apartment.
That sounds terrible. I don't want to do
Look at the left. Look at them all posing with their Pfizer shots, looking like dead zombies. I mean, come on. You guys are sick. And so you shouldn't look at those of us that have a soul still and have integrity in pain over this and celebrate, you dumb pieces of fucking shit.
That's very harsh, Alex.
I
was just defending you a second ago. But he goes
watching
on.
This guy is like reliving your best episode of Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I tried to stop a video and then the other one started.
Of course it has.
No, I figured out what the problem was, and boy, everybody's going to be bored by it. But finish. So yes, it is like watching Mystery Science Theater 3000. I want to let the great Alex Jones finish.
It's just constant lies. I need to defend Trump. He's being lied about. And then this type of shit happens. I don't even know what to say. I mean, it's just, it's beyond insane. You couldn't try to hurt yourself worse. You couldn't try to discredit the FBI worse than what they've done. Pam Bondi, all of it. All those videos are saying, yeah, she's seen the videos. It's all coming out. And then now it doesn't exist. I mean, what?
I hope he says what again.
Yeah.
I just wish that instead of, the bankruptcy that he's able to get out from under and now he's making more money, I wish his penalty had been, okay, after what you did about Sandy Hook, you are going to be in the witness protection program. You're going to be a fry cook at McDonald's in Butte, Montana. You'll have a nice house, but that's it for the rest of your life. If our legal system would permit that, there'd be a measure of justice.
Right. Well, DJ Electra, great to see you on here. Does he live in his car now? I think he just does cameos from his car, but I know what you're saying, DJ Electra. Well, Royal, I do appreciate you coming on and trying to explain both of these things to us. Because of my tech problems, I don't understand it any better. But Zane, you feel like you're much better educated now that Royal was with us for this show, right?
I'm a fan of Royal Oaks, and I want to check out his podcast, and he's going to tell me how I can listen to it right now.
Yeah, it's everywhere. You get your shows, Apple, Spotify. It's called Too Many Lawyers. And my son Connor and I do it. And also, I recently started a Substack column called Two Lawyers Walk Into a Bar. So we have a lot of fun putting all that together. So, yeah, please check it out.
Well, we appreciate it, Royal. Thank you so much for coming on and making Eric Zane smarter.
This was fun, guys. Anytime. Love it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And this had been building for weeks because of the simple fact that I didn't know when this damn trial was going to end. OG mumbling Nick. Thanks for the $5. Donald Trump and Bill Clinton are both on Epstein's list. It's so obvious. That is why no Democrat or Republican president will ever release the files. I mean, I think that's probably right.
And so what?
Yeah.
Who cares? I don't care.
I don't care.
Somebody wants to go to hell or whatever the hell. I mean, my God, I would like to think though that if these politicians that did horrible things to kids, if they're skirting the issue now by doing this, they should know that you shouldn't do this in the first place. There's a chance that you could get caught. Now, fortunately, because this is politics, they're able to sweep it under the rug and make it go away. For fortunate for them, not for us. I would like nothing more than these people to be locked up for years. But this should surprise no one.
No one. Yeah,
it's amazing to me that Alex Jones is making some big deal about this. Like you didn't know this was coming. You look like a rapist every day of the week.
Allegedly. Jeez. Yeah.
Well, he looks like a rapist. I'm not saying he is a rapist.
No.
He definitely looks like a fucking rapist.
He might get rounded up for a lineup. All right. So I want to explain that anybody who used StreamYard probably saw this message right there at the top. Do you see that, Eric, about studio instability issues?
Yeah, it's like a little warning.
Yeah. Do you know what it tells you?
No, I can't see it.
That's
fine
okay.
print.
If you have a virtual background, you probably shouldn't use it right now. It'll lead to studio instability. So you notice how I haven't dropped out, knock on wood, since I just turned off the green screen.
Wow. I actually saw you in queue pull it back.
Yeah.
That's amazing that they were able to pinpoint it, that is the issue.
Yeah. The only problem is that that message has been up there for like 5 days. So I should have probably known, like, oh, maybe I should listen to it instead of, now this will be the question that people talk about years from now. what is a bigger embarrassment to Carl's channel? WATB 100 or WATB 101? And I don't know what the answer is. I feel like the fact that I kept popping in. Imagine if Royal Oaks wasn't here today, Eric. Imagine the plate spinning you would have had to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I would have been great. But at the same time, I think we did just fine. So if anybody has any issue with that, yeah, I mean, thank you. I think you'll feel better after you give us more money.
Yeah, I think that's what it goes down to. And there's only one way I think I might be able to make it up to our audience.
WATB, who are these bears? Who are these bears?
What does our friend Dwyer Christian say there?
It says ED. It's something different. Easy does a great Twitch show. Thank you. Big Red Tower said, there goes my theory that Christian was cutting out so he could vacuum up a line of Go Fast.
Thank you.
Chad Missing Upper Lip, who's a huge fan of Easy, says, you did great, Eric. Bladt is really fucking everything up lately. Thank you so much.
I don't need to disagree with Chad's Missing Upper Lip.
Hamilton says 100 was a great episode. He loves it. Chad says 100 was a great episode. He loved it.
Why is everybody talking about it? I don't understand. We had so much
I don't know. Carl loved it. He told me he loves Tom Myers. Yeah. And he said his cover is blown. He's always loved Tom Myers.
Even Cardiff loves Tom Myers. He had so much fun making that game for us. All right. So here is a local news bear clip. I like to think of these two bears as us, just kind of heading out during lunch break.
Unlikely friends were seen strolling together in the wild. Take a look at this video posted on social media by the LA County Sheriff's Station in Altadena. You can see a bear and coyote hanging out and developing a close bond. The sheriff's station captioned the post saying, quote, when you and your coworker finally take that lunch break walk you've been talking about all week.
Okay, so this clip is whatever. That's not great. But then we go to the anchor back in the studio.
The lunch break walk. Well, he might become his lunch.
Yeah, that's right. He's a puker. You could hear it. Yeah, that's right.
You do hear it, don't you?
Yeah.
So we cover bears at a lot of different ages. We have baby bears, we have mama bear, we have papa bear. But what about grandma and grandpa bear when it's time to maybe settle down into the old bear's home? What's that like?
Trap here is behind the St. Andrews Village here in Indiana County. The bear that is now in this trap was actually in the skilled nursing center on Tuesday. Employees were able to get it out, and this morning, that bear was caught. Take a look at this video. A black bear cub sat in a trap in Indiana County Thursday afternoon.
So they're saying this is a cub. Look how huge that fucking bear is.
He is very big. I'm still thrown off, though, by Down syndrome Chaz Bono.
I knew you were going to call him something, but I didn't have that one. So
holy shit. It's like a fucking mutant.
Noon, after it broke through a window at St. Andrews Village skilled nursing home just after 11 o'clock Tuesday night. Charlene Elliott was one of the lead certified nursing assistants working.
I was sitting there at our nurse's station and I heard a big crash.
You have any thoughts on the people that Chaz Bono are talking to?
Yeah, if this lady's my nurse, it's like, God damn it, give me the sodium pentothal. It's coming.
And I heard a big crash. So I thought it was one of the aides that fell. And I got up and I seen it was a bear coming down the hall towards me.
These pictures show where the black bear got in. You can see claw marks on a windowsill, and in this picture, shattered glass.
Going through my mind was get the thing out of here.
The bear was inside for about 15 minutes running through the halls.
And I told them all to shut the doors, get the doors all shut.
The bear even went into some residential rooms, even getting into a bed with two people and coming nose to nose with one man.
Please do not move, touch him, because he would have mauled him. I mean, he could have just one swipe.
She said one resident wanted to feed it.
She's like, well, go ahead and give it my sandwich. And I'm like, no, we can't do that.
But they did use Rice Krispie treats to lure the bear out of the building.
So they want to feed him, but outside. The best part of the story for me, not the lady who paints an amazing picture storyteller, the gifted storyteller that she is. It's the bear getting into bed with some dude. And obviously, yeah, it's a baby bear, but if you're going to go into an old folks home, you might as well look for some strange, right, Eric?
Yeah, absolutely. You heard about those bears. They're totally promiscuous. They're having sex with coyotes. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they've got a lot going out there. All right, so that's the break-in at the nursing home, but no great local news story is complete without the in-studio banter.
So it was like, this is like a reverse Goldilocks story. It's where the bear breaks in and actually goes into the bed. But I mean, she is just so incredibly brave. It makes you wonder, what would you do if you were in that situation? Yeah, I think had to get out of here.
Yeah. Great story, Andrew. Thanks for bringing it to us. And one more thing from the Game Commission, too. They're saying very rare for bears to go into buildings like this, but obviously it can happen. We just saw this. They say to make sure there's no food or garbage outside of your home that a bear can get into, because
Alyssa Raymond needs to stop looking sideways because that fucking honker, she looks like one of the goons trying to get Popeye.
Yeah, I think that she would fall into the old joke, why the long face? Because, Lisa Sylvester is always probably excited to be paired up with Alyssa Raymond because I'm looking good today.
A bear could hide in her nose.
it obviously likes sweets, not sour things.
All good advice. Yeah, keep that food and stuff away.
Yes.
Thanks for that. Thanks for that.
That's terrible. Look at that.
I wanted to make sure that we could leave it on that.
Dwyer, this is great. Alyssa gets flirts from lesbians that demand a face sitting. Holy shit. God, I'm sitting on your face. What a big cock you have.
Well, let's keep it in the spirit of some local news.
WATB, who are these local news? Who are these local newscasters?
Easy. Lisa's Gonzo's cousin. Look, if somebody's going to want to make Muppet references, I'll be here. I'll be here all day. That's not a problem for me. Eric, you sent me this one. This is a lady who left something in the car. I don't think it needs any more setup than that, does it? I think they do a pretty good job explaining.
Yeah, they do. They've got it covered. This is a big story in beautiful Arkadelphia.
Yeah, which everybody wants to go to Arkadelphia.
Well, imagine walking outside and you find your clean laundry on fire.
That's exactly what happened to an Arkadelphia woman. And tonight, she's warning others about a hazard hiding in plain sight.
TH11's Carter Thweet explains what you can do to keep this from happening to you.
It was less than 24 hours ago that Jennifer Johnson.
What's going on with local news?
Fucking boom goes the dynamite guy. Kid is here.
I thought that woke was over. And now look at all of these opportunities that we're giving to people that, I'm going to say it, as somebody who has a face that doesn't belong on television, none of these people belong on television, Eric.
Look at this twink. Jesus Christ.
Let's let him explain what happened.
And looked out of that kitchen window and saw smoke coming out of this moonroof. Now she's issuing a warning to other homeowners to make sure they don't have the same experience.
I come outside and I said, holy mess, my clothes are on fire.
That was Jennifer Johnson's reaction when she noticed her clothes hamper smoldering in the back of her car. She had left the clothes there after picking them up from the laundromat.
And look at the wardrobe. You don't feel like that's a home that you'd be honored to live in easy?
Starting with the driveway. No offense. Total offense. If your driveway is pavers for one tire, pavers for the other tire, with the botanical garden in between those spots, you're living in a poverty home.
Yeah.
Clothes hamper smoldering in the back of her car. She had left the clothes there after picking them up from the laundromat with the intention of folding them later that day.
I ripped the clothes out, dump it out. I've had a pitcher outside, thankfully. There's the water hose. I dumped it over.
Johnson says she looked through the clothes, which are a total loss, as well as the hamper, and there was nothing flammable that could have caused this. Andy Neal, chief of the Arkadelphia Fire Department, says while incidents like these are rare, they're not unprecedented.
We've had.
Thank you, Charles Grodin.
I'm going to say that I had never heard of this. I'm surprised it happened, but this seems like the lady that it would definitely happen to.
Yeah. I mean, come on. It's probably a buildup of various layers of smeg on the clothes that blended with the soap and created some kind of amalgamation of disease and flammable material is what this is.
Yeah, let's go back to the lady because she's the best part.
Something like this happen. Neil says while the summer heat could play a part, it's more likely that heat simply builds up inside the wadded up.
Yes, sir.
I keep hearing Napoleon's brother Kip.
This is definitely
clothes looking with nowhere to go.
Take them out of the dryer when it's still hot. Spread them out on maybe if they're on a table or on the bed, something like that. Let them cool.
Johnson tells me she's certainly learned that lesson.
Have you learned?
Laundry inside I will take the time to take it out, and at the laundromat, I'm going to take the time to aerate it more, make sure it loses some of that heat.
Of course, she doesn't have her own washer and dryer.
In Arkadelphia.
Yeah, that's just a file photo of a dryer. What do you think is more likely, that she's going to do what she just said, or she's just going to stop washing her clothes?
Yeah, that's probably the best way to look at it. Prairie Judge says, "Yep, booze soaked."
That would actually explain a lot of it. Thank you, Prairie Judge.
Boomhauer said what? That was concerning the fire guy that was talking about there, Charles Grodin. Don't be jealous, Napoleon. I've been chatting with babes online all day.
So I've got one more local news story. This is indeed local here in Southern California. This is a story about a man whose support for Donald Trump is completely unwavering, despite the fact that his wife was taken away in the driveway by federal agents. I've got a theory about this guy and why his support is so strong. It does start with a little bit of a bummer because the kids would like mom to come back.
I miss her dearly, but I think we could do a better job of you catch someone, you see they're international, and do a background real quick and see if they have ties to the community and ties with families over here, and let them go.
What do you think's going to happen?
I'm on the list to be going to a different facility.
Arpanay speaking with us on the phone, uncertain about her future. Any regrets with your vote?
None. Still supporting him.
While her family continues showing support for President Trump, hoping their mom comes home soon.
Trump is not trying to do anything bad. We understand what he's doing, and he wants.
Well, the kids weren't hungry when mom was still there. Maybe.
Yeah, that chick wearing the romper, she's a little fucking porker. Holy shit.
What? Well, now that we're making fun of children,
look at this kid. Jesus Christ, she looks like fucking Violet from goddamn Willy Wonka.
Willy Wonka, yeah. So Dwyer Christian's asking Bobby Kelly. I feel like there's more to this story than appears on the surface. What do you think the odds are that just his wife is such a huge pain in the ass? And the fact that she moved here, this is the background that's not in the clip. She moved here from Iran when she was like 3 years old on a green card, but then she got into some legal trouble like 15 years ago. I think she cashed a bad check. So they decided like, okay, well, we probably don't need you in this country anymore. Do you think it was just like, oh my God, it's like somebody who beats cancer or something? Or it's like somebody who has someone they barely know give them a kidney, and all of a sudden they have a new lease on life. Is it like that for this guy who's annoying?
Yeah,
wife
maybe
around?
he is. I see what you're getting at. It makes all the sense in the world. He called ICE himself.
Yeah, it's like, do they have that tip line? Is it anonymous? Okay, yeah, cool. I'll be right back.
That's actually brilliant. It makes me wonder how often, because it's happened, that people have done that. Said, yeah, this crazy bitch, you got to come get her. Jesus.
Let's move things over to talk shows.
WATB, who are these talk shows? Who are these talk shows?
This is another Eric Zane clip. We have so many Eric Zane clips. I'm saving one for our next episode. So
outstanding.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
So this is an Australian broadcaster, and you explained this to me because there was something I didn't know. So you should probably tell the audience what the background is before we play it.
There is a trial there. It's a high-profile trial, a murder trial of this woman who served people a bunch of tainted mushrooms or some shit, or there's a horrible murder that took place. And what I wasn't realizing is that in Australia, as far as I understand it, if you talk about a case on the airwaves, you can be charged, and you do it negatively or strangely, or you can be charged with contempt.
Yeah. So if we said that the Diddy trial is a miscarriage of justice and he's clearly guilty of everything he was accused by, then we could be in contempt if this was Australia.
And in fact, this case, you'll hear somebody, because the problem is they had dumped some audio, something that was said.
Yeah.
And then you'll hear the producer say, well, I dumped it because I didn't want the contempt charge.
Yeah. So basically this show's Baba Booey comes in and explains what happened. But the host of this show is furious.
Until this show runs the way I intend it to be run, I will not be back on the air at all in any way, shape or form.
Okay.
So well done, Censor. Well done, Bruno, wherever you're hiding in my house.
Okay.
I ain't going to waste my life here walking on eggshells around other people's ideas of what I should be doing. I do what I want to do. And if you don't like it, tough shit. That's the way it is with me. Oh, Bruno's back.
Yeah, Bruno's back.
Oh, you instructed the show to be dumped, I was told.
Yeah, for the contempt of court stuff.
Why? I mean, we have to pretend that we weren't told that.
With what, sorry?
I have to hide from the audience that I was threatened with contempt of court.
Oh, no, I just don't want you guys going to jail.
I don't give a shit. I'd rather go to jail. I'd rather be raped in jail than be puppeteered by losers.
This guy goes on a little bit more, but that line is my favorite from this thing. When you
I'd rather be raped in jail than be puppeteered by losers.
Yes, losers. This guy Bruno, the show producer, which stuff like this always hits a little close to home because of how many years I spent producing radio. Wow. And when something goes wrong, it is definitely your fault.
I'm not doing the show anymore as of this second. So good luck. That's the show ripped up. Judges can shove it in their ass. ACMA can shove it in their ass. So can the management of the radio station. 2 hands straight in the anus. And clap.
Weird way to say anus.
Okay. I find it very interesting. But now I guess this guy did come back and there was like nothing had happened.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sure that there's a contract that said you can't leave the show just because you're not happy with Bruno. We could fire Bruno if you want. You know, that's probably what that conversation was. Ryan Harrelson sharded. I'm sorry. And
That's
right
what
now,
he says I sharded and he gave us $10. Thank you, Ryan. I'm sorry that you sharded. That's never fun.
Well, right now, that's my sign off. So if anybody has $10.01, I run the risk of embarrassing myself in front of my children. So we can't have that. Royal Oaks might go back and watch the rest of the episode and they'll be like, what was this show that I did?
Was that so disheartening for you when you were having all the tech issues that you're immediately going to call Royal when you get done and say, I don't know what the fuck was going on, Royal. I'm so sorry.
No, he's got a tea time. He'll be playing golf. So I'll probably talk to him in the evening. So I appreciate it. All right. So we're still in talk shows and I saved some of these from last week's show, and I'm going to save a few more. But our girl Dank DeMoss was on Vlad TV.
Oh, my God, yes.
And we played some clips on WATB 100. That's probably like the least popular segment in that show. There's a much more popular segment that was shortly after that. But that's the one that I think people didn't so much care for. But we love Dank DeMoss. And we've played a number of clips of her over the years, but we don't know much about her family. So I'm glad that Vlad asked her.
Now, you had 2 brothers?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and from what I understand, your brother's actually really skinny.
Did she eat them?
Yeah, my brothers are my brothers are fit, but they're not like my size. They're not like obese. One of my brothers is a police officer, and my other brother, he has a career too. But yeah,
her brother that's a police.
Actually, say so flippantly, yeah, they're not obese.
Yeah,
like that. This woman is fucked up. This is a fucked up individual.
Oh, yeah. This should definitely be seen as a cry for help. By the way, so this is in Detroit. Remember, that's where she's from. Her brother is on the police force. Is there probably any cop in Detroit that you'd rather have to try to run away from than Dank DeMoss's brother? If you see him, you're like, oh, yeah, I got this. All right.
Yeah. Wow. I wonder if they're not obese in her eyes. When you weigh 600, 700 pounds, he can be 450. And she's like, oh, yeah, he's not obese.
Eric, she got down to 517. Okay. So don't mischaracterize. Troy Smith's sister met her. And I know Troy is, I believe you're in the Detroit area.
He is.
Troy, I want an email about that. We can figure it out. I want that story. I want to know all about it. So please let us know more about that. I appreciate it. And that's a pretty great. He had like a Yoda with Stuttering John's face. The one punch, he gets weighed like a semi truck. Well, let's let her talk more about her family, though.
They're not big like me.
What about your parents?
My dad was a bigger guy.
Yeah, I bet.
My mom was a bigger woman, but she lost weight and she's able to maintain her weight. So yeah, my dad was the biggest in our family.
Okay, and you were 532 pounds in high school?
Yeah.
Eric, I know we talk a lot about how your dick doesn't work. Did it just twitch at all when you heard that? You heard 532 in high school. Do you think that there might be some motion going on between your legs for the first time in years?
You know, I wish, but I don't do monstrosities. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I would rather have sex with a Karen Carpenter looking bitch than I would Dank DeMoss.
It's a hot take. Do you mean present day Karen Carpenter?
I mean, yeah. I mean, like how she is right now in the crib.
Sure. Yeah.
My senior year, yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, but at one point you dropped a bunch of weight. You went down to 300?
No, I went down to 432.
So you and I have done plenty of interviews. I bet he knew that she never went down to 300, right? He just wanted her to have to be like,
yeah, the fact that he's 132 off the mark. He's a whole person off the mark.
He could have just said, you dropped some weight, right? And then she could say, yeah, I got down to 432. But instead, he's like, so you got down to 300. Right? Oh, no, not even close. Yikes. I can't imagine her almost 100 pounds less. I can imagine her 300 pounds more. That I can visualize. But I
kind of want to see, like, if she were to, like, if she got down to, like, 150.
Yeah.
Just to see how much meat would be hanging off of her.
Oh, that's a lot of meat.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking probably another 100 pounds of skin.
Yeah. Very, very true. All right, let's let her finish this.
432.
432.
Okay, so 100 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay. But then I guess at one point your dad passed away and that kind of caused you to gain weight again?
He did, yep.
How old was he?
My dad was 39 when
I mean, she said he was a bigger guy, and I was thinking one thing, and then she said he died at 39. I was like, oh, no. Okay, so this guy's like a dump truck as well.
Right.
He doesn't even get to 40.
Painful to witness. I mean, Dank just sitting there. Dank, I mean, she's dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
She looks like shit. Holy shit. She has to die herself. I mean, we
don't want that. We don't want that. But
but it's kind of like, it's like set in stone. It's not. We're going to be talking about this in a matter of weeks, no doubt.
Yeah, but that won't stop me from playing clips. We'll go back and find old interviews.
Oh yeah, this is a train wreck that I'm here for. If she's going to put it out there, I'm going to watch this fat fuck completely just come unglued.
Right, exactly.
He died.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he was pretty young. He was young.
That's very young. I'm 51, so.
Yeah.
39 is, what did he pass away from?
He had a heart attack.
There's the kicker that
Frankie is with the question. Yeah, so I see you got down to 300, and what did your dad die of? He knows. Come on.
I guess we could have played a Cardiff Electric game where it's like, why do you think that she died? I'm only going to play one more clip this week, and we'll try and spend some more time with Dank next week. But one of the things she talked about, there was a reality show that she was a part of. I can't say I'd ever heard of it, but she was on something called Deb Abney's House. I don't know who that is. The important thing to know is she got kicked off the show, and I can't imagine having to actually kick this woman, but she was kicked off the show, and she didn't have a great time, but she's going to talk about her experience on set.
It was frustrating for me because, like behind the scenes, you on your feet all day. And that was kind of new for me. I was on my feet for like 30 minutes and stuff like that.
Oh,
so
poor floor.
She talks about how it's so hard to be on your feet all day. And she's like, yeah, I had to stand for 30 minutes.
30 minutes is a killer for this tank.
I mean, I can't imagine 3 minutes.
She doesn't realize how hysterical she is. She has that body dysmorphia where she thinks that this is all acceptable. The world has to cater to her. It's the Lyft driver's fault. It's Charlemagne the God's fault for not having a goddamn couch up to the table.
That was definitely his fault. And I just the idea that we knew that she was a big girl, I think last week really shone a light on just how stupid she is.
Yeah, she's painfully dumb.
Dwyer Christian says her slippers ripped like the Hulk, his purple pants that tear every time he turns into the Hulk.
And before I came, my team had told them, like, make sure it's a chair on standby just in case, that never happened. So I was kind of frustrated at that time. I was at my breaking point. I was getting yelled at for finally finding something that I felt looked nice on me, and it was like, you're not a boss, so my feelings was hurt a little bit.
She found something that she thought looked nice, and you know what, I should have looked up the outfit she wore on this show. Maybe
I hope it's coffin shaped. Jesus.
Let's just finish up this clip here because I want to hear more about Deb Abney's house.
But it happened, I'm human. I'm glad that the world could see that I am human, but that happened. I was just put in a difficult situation,
Yeah.
And I mostly just wanted to go back to the wide shot. You fucked up when you need a mobility couch. Yes, Prairie Judge. That's definitely true. 50 pallbearers.
She hasn't made a dime. You notice we've never seen her perform since this all broke, ever since the lift. There was some old video that surfaced.
There was an old video. Yeah.
But she's only made appearances to illustrate how dumb she is and how fat she is. That's it. That's the only thing interesting about this stupid bitch.
Both of those things are true. Anyway, I look forward to sharing the rest of our journey with Dank DeMoss on our next episode. And for now, let's head on over to some politics.
Who are these politics? Who are these politics?
We will probably have to circle back to Epstein for a moment when we're doing this segment, but I want to start off with the hottest theme park in Florida, Alligator Alcatraz. There's a video of this. I took a still frame from when they're not showing their kid's face. This is filmed by a lady who keeps talking about them and saying how terrible they are. That they're taking pictures by the Alligator Alcatraz sign. And she's telling people, like, go find them. Go find out who they are. And I don't want to do that. I think it's hysterical. And look, if I'm in Florida and I drive by Alligator Alcatraz, I'm definitely taking a picture by the sign and I'm sending it to you, Zane.
Right.
So
and
I don't know.
I'm going to post it to the world to say, this is Bladt. He loves that all these people are being put in this concentration camp.
Look, it's not my fault that they have made an attraction out of it. Content creator Benny Johnson was there for rope drop, as they say in the theme park business. And let's see what he was excited about.
Everyone to know that there's official Alligator Alcatraz merch. There it is, provided to us by the state of Florida. Incredible.
It's a really shitty hat, by the way.
Yeah, it's shaped weird. It's just dumb.
Well, we wanted to know the specifics, and this is before Trump had it down there. The last honest newsman, Peter Doocy, asked President Trump a question about what it's like. Unfortunately, this is one of those ones where the helicopter is there in the background. So if we have to decipher, we will. But Trump gets posed like, so is this what Alligator Alcatraz is like?
Alcatraz. Yeah. It's the idea that it's
Okay. So it was even worse than I thought it was. So he's saying, like, is the idea that if they escape, they're going to get eaten by an alligator. And I think that's literally what the concept is. And let's see what the president says.
I guess that's the concept. This is not a nice business. I guess that's the concept. If snakes are fast, but alligators are, but we're going to teach them how to run away from an alligator, okay? If they escape prison, how to run away. Don't run in a straight line. Run like this. And you know what? Your chances go up about 1%. Okay.
So he's telling them how to run away from an alligator.
Holy shit. It sounds like Hitler.
Yeah, it's very easy to compare any world leader to Hitler, but if you take the verbiage there, it could be transferred, I suppose. Trump did get to kind of tour the facilities. So here he is for the photo op with his buddy Ron DeSantis is there, and Kristi Noem, and I actually forget who else is there, but he has a very Trump-like moment here.
Hey, Biden wanted me in here, okay? He wanted me. It didn't work out that way, but he wanted me in here, that son of a bitch.
So he's standing in front of all the cages, and he's like, Biden wanted me in here. That son of a bitch.
He's referring to he wanted him in Alligator Alcatraz? Is that what
he's just saying that he wanted him in a cage.
I get it.
Yeah. But
he's got to get over the Biden thing. Jesus, you won. The guy's dead.
He's actually still alive. Believe it or
you
not.
know what I mean? Come on.
There was a lot of praise about how quickly Alligator Alcatraz was constructed. And I believe it was like a week. And then there were a lot of rains in Florida. And there's a song to this. So I am just going to have it on mute. This is time-lapse photography of as soon as it starts raining. Oh, no. And there's all these bunk beds. And they knew it would rain. They probably didn't realize it was going to rain opening weekend. And then everything fills up over there. So
that's outstanding. I mean, Jesus Christ.
So I don't even know what your plans are for your summer travel this year. I assume you're going to get in the RV. Any chance that you might swing by Alligator Alcatraz, Eric?
No. I think no. I mean, if I was in the area, I would do the same thing. I would get the picture. My daughter would kill me because she's way far left.
Let me interrupt to ask you an important question. Did your daughter give you that shirt you're wearing right now?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, okay.
Of course. She's so gay. Yes.
Yeah.
So but Dwyer says that I would take a bare ass selfie. Now that would be fantastic.
Actually,
I was hoping that would have caught on, and it seems to be now. Like maybe I start to do bare ass selfies various locations. If we show up in Detroit, you can get a picture of me with my ass.
I mean, you should definitely do a taint booth where everybody can get a picture. I wish I still had that episode because then I could print out 8.5 by 11 headshots of just your taint.
Well, Troy Smith's got it.
Does he really?
He's got a screen grab of my asshole. I know that.
Troy Smith, I'm very worried about you. You're an amazing fan of the Dabbleverse, a fan of the WATP network. You do amazing posters. But I at the same time, I can't question it because I was just saying I wish I had that. So
there you go. He showed it to me when we hung out at the after party when fucking who's that guy that hit that walk off for the Dodgers? What's his name? Rusty Hilger. God damn it.
Are you talking about Freddie Freeman?
Yes, that's the guy. We were looking at my asshole, and Freddie Freeman hit a fucking knock to win the game. It was incredible.
And you were like, man, I know where I'd like him to put that bat. And you pointed right at the picture.
I'm telling you, by the way, if you haven't, I don't even know, there's got to be maybe 1 or 2 tickets left for Detroit, September 12th. Oh, my God. That's going to be outstanding.
I am sure that it's going to be outstanding.
I know it's going fast. It's going fast.
You go to themagicbag.com for tickets for that and WATP Live. Go to whoarethese.com for links to all the live shows. There's also the Catskills show coming up the week before that. So, obviously I was very nervous trying to play clips or even being on camera when we were talking about Jeffrey Epstein. But again, the only honest newsman in Washington had an important question for White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt.
The FBI looks at the circumstances surrounding the death of Jeffrey Epstein. According to the report, this systematic review revealed no incriminating client list. So what happened to the Epstein client list that the Attorney General said she had on her desk?
Well, I think if you go back and look at what the Attorney General said in that interview, which was on your network on Fox News.
Got the quote.
Go ahead.
John Roberts said,
Actually, I have the clip.
They may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump.
Okay. So, and then he's gonna quote it.
may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen? And she said, it's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Right now.
Yes, she was saying the entirety of all of the paperwork, all of the paper in.
Okay, so her answer is just the bullshit that you'd expect. But
Yeah.
The reason why we love Peter Doocy is this facial expression after he asks it. I'll see if I can freeze on it the way that I want to. So he's just like, so this is what she said. And he's got that pen and he's just like, so that's Peter Doocy to me, is the fact that he's like, so what about it?
Chad's missing upper lip. Says, good question, Peter. I'd suck the farts out of her ass, though. Thank you.
I mean, look, I get it. I understand that. I know that Easy has talked about a few ladies who he'd eat the corn out of their shit.
Yep.
So,
And by the way, I should mention that it is now in the East here, 3:11 p.m. The last time we got a super chat was 2:49.
Woo!
What the fuck is going on here?
man, I should just keep showing Trump clips until somebody super chats us. I may never, and I do mean never, show bears again because I feel disrespected, you know.
Yeah, this is silly, you cheap fucks.
Well, that's all right.
God damn it.
Well, just for our sake, let's head over to sports then.
Who are these sports? You know what I'm saying? Who are these sports? Let's see who's playing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know I don't know what's society.
That really is the quietest of all of our jingles. That's the one that needs the
Yeah,
most work. I'll get together with Doug from the jingles department and I'll make sure that
boost that
we definitely
about 10 dB.
So we've got some baseball clips, and what's the first thing that needs to happen for a baseball game to really start? Easy, you sent me this clip. The national anthem has to happen, and I don't know that much about this specific incident, but I feel like the game didn't start right away. All right, here she is. Now, if you were doing a bit, I don't think you could have nailed it as perfectly as the way that she trails off.
Yeah.
And
yes.
this is what Dank DeMoss was like having to stand for 30 minutes, you know?
Jesus Christ. I didn't realize Kim Fields from Facts of Life was
I'm sorry, did people tune in for Tootie jokes today? Is that what happened?
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that was quite a tumble, and right at land of the free, home of the brave.
She was this close to just being able to pass out in the dugout.
Yeah.
Well, let's move it over to the friendly confines of Wrigley Field. In this clip, Alex Cooper from Call Her Daddy gets the opportunity to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" during the 7th inning stretch. A hallowed, time-honored tradition there at Wrigley. The great Harry Carey used to do it. Let's see how Alex Cooper handles it.
Cooper.
All right, Daddy Gang and Cubs fans, are you ready?
And before she even starts singing, remember that this was the interview that the Kamala Harris campaign thought, well, we need to make sure we spend $1 million sitting down with Alex Cooper. Yeah. So that's her from Call Her Daddy. Okay. So it's time.
You've never seen something like this before.
I sure haven't.
A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Mommy's on peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care. Never come back. So let's root for the the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame.
I hate every
So
second of it.
it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old game.
Okay. So that's, in some ways reminiscent of Roseanne singing the national anthem, except, that's there's all kinds of other problems with that. And if you're watching the broadcast, that's from ESPN, you'd think like, oh, okay, people probably didn't get too upset. But instead, I'm going to present you with a fan filmed video from inside Wrigley Field. So the roar becomes steady, the boos.
Oh, no. What an embarrassment. Look at the players. Oh, my fuck, this is terrible.
I love how much people hated it, but you never know if you just watch it on TV. I saw them in reverse order. So I was always going to play the clip we just showed. And then we got the JFK head chunk. Is that Geddy Lee behind?
Yeah, she did have that weird type of smashed face look going on.
Yeah, that's a great observation from JFK head chunk. No, Eric, I'm sure that we've been getting plenty of super chats. You've just missed them, right? I can't imagine that.
No, it's been horrible. Last one was Ryan who sharded. I blame Blatt. The whole thing was fucked from the beginning. The audience is still pissed for some reason about Myers because they're all sheep like Carl. Carl's had a career out of attacking this talented comedian, even though he secretly loves him.
One of the greats.
Him on, and he fucking kills, he murders, and these brainwashed cunts get all butthurt because girl says he doesn't like Tom Myers when I'm getting goddamn text after text about how much he loved Myers. So, think about that. You want to start and then Carl takes that shit over to WATP and starts dogging this show. Jesus Christ, this is the show that's keeping your network alive, you fucking mongrel.
Well, what I will say is that, and I did point this out, that that was indeed our episode that got to 2,000 the fastest.
Yeah, everybody loved it. They love Myers. I can't wait to have him back.
Well, the interesting thing is that not only was it featured on WATP, there's now a video version of them talking about that appearance on the show. And if you hate me, you want to get in on the comments on that video, not the episode. There's a little bit in there, but there's a lot more people talking about Chrissy Mayer. But in the video of just that segment, you guys can go to town. And, a lot of people are wondering what I was thinking. At the end of the day, I thought people would think it was funny. And I've been approached by a few people who I won't call out, who told me they thought it was funny.
It was.
There's a few others who say, I appreciate what you went for, but you forgot how much he sucks. Agree to disagree on that, but I respect the opinions of people who say that. But
I don't.
No, I know, but I need to try and keep.
I get it. They are not smart enough to get Tom Myers. We are the smart ones who know that type of great comedy. We are too smart for the room.
This show is too smart for the Dabbleverse. I think.
Yes, these are dummies. All right, these are dumb idiots.
And I'm a guy sitting in front of a green curtain and an aqua wall, so obviously I know. Troy Smith, $1.99. Curious, how much do Blatt's hugs cost? It's a great question. If they're at Hackamania 3, pre-order your tickets, promo code BEARS. To see who are these broadcasters, maybe with Tom Myers. Who knows? We were putting it all out there in the ether. Maybe Troy, I would give you a hug, but I can transfer a hug to Zane to give you at the Magic Bag.
Yeah, and, I will hug. I'm going to be giving out hugs and beatings.
Oh yeah,
to veteran amputees.
I forgot about that part. I wish I hadn't forgotten about it. So at the end of the day, I thought people would think it was funny. I especially thought Carl would think it was funny. And that's just one of those things that goes to show you, just because you listen to someone's podcast, you don't really know them. So start counting the weeks until WATB episode 200, when we'll be joined by Chad Zumach and Rob Saul. So that's going to be fantastic. Everybody will check that out. We appreciate that. I have a couple of things that qualify as sports that we need to make sure we get to, because it was 4th of July, which means the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. But before we even talk about that, there is a new world's record in the lemonade chugging contest. Now, I don't know if you remember the lemonade chugging contest when we showed a clip from it last year, but the guy threw up. Yeah. But I think he might have been better prepared this year. Oh yeah, I forgot that we have this song the whole time. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Probably.
So no, but it'll be fine once. So look at him. He's got a gallon of lemonade. The guy in the middle, and he is that is Badlands Booker, and he is just devouring this lemonade, and it takes 32 seconds. So.
Oh!
The other guys, if I'm right next to him, I'm like, oh, he's going to win. I just stop.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You don't even try. Yeah.
Badlands Booker, a new world record. 21 seconds on.
Oh, my God. I didn't even give him the credit that he deserved.
They should give him like an A1C right after, just to see how high it is.
So obviously the main event there was the return of Joey Chestnut as the world record holder for hot dogs eaten during that contest. I don't even understand that comment from JFK.
Yeah, JFK Head Chunk. He said he's talking about that guy who won. He said he kills grape soda and half the time.
I don't even know what that means. So Joey Chestnut was back, but here's the thing: he ate like 20 less hot dogs than his record, and second place was even 20 behind that. So I don't even want to see the competition. I'm embarrassed for Joey Chestnut, but the intro he gets from the guy in like the straw hat is next level.
Formed from the shards of shattered angels, wielding the white sword of righteousness, standing as quiet as truth. Ladies and gentlemen, while we must all face the dark mountain of night, forsaken and forlorn, alone in the ruins of our own minds, he will never fail or falter. For he defies the ministers of our fate and the limitations of our birth. And he will not stop until he stands side by side with the gods. His glory is strung like beads of light to adorn the arc of history itself. Joey Chestnut!
So,
wow.
This is a guy who eats hot dogs really fast and he dips them in the water. Yeah. I mean, look, that's an amazing intro though. Do you think it's deserving of the
No, everything about hot dog eating is ridiculous. From the people that are there to the fact that it's on TV, the fact that it's even happening.
Yeah.
To me, that you can bet on this shit. There is very few things that I would consider to be more horrific than the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. I would say you go number 1, Holocaust, 2, this event, 3, 9/11. That's how I feel about these disgusting, horrible people. I wish that we'd get a nice terror attack under the stage at the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. I hate that fucking thing.
Wow. That is wait, where do you put veterans if you're ranking those 4 things?
Well,
so the Holocaust
events.
Oh, events. Okay.
Those are, moments in time in history.
Sure.
Okay.
So D-Day, the liberation, it doesn't matter. We'll draw up the timeline.
You fight me on this. Anybody, I dare you. I would rather watch 9/11 jumpers than hit the ground than actually watch the Nathan's hot dog eating, whatever the fuck it is.
It is a hot dog eating contest. Well, yeah, and I believe that you can take people up on that at the Magic Bag in Ferndale, Michigan on September 12th when our buddy EZ will be there. One final sports clip. We've shown actor Nicholas Tuturro on the show before. People know him from NYPD Blue or possibly Blue Bloods or NYPD Blue. And he's a very angry, vocal Yankee fan.
Yeah,
so,
I remember Juan Soto. He was all pissed off about Juan Soto.
He lost his shit over Juan Soto. And he does a lot of these videos. And the Yankees played the Mets over the weekend. And I'm going to just show this one.
This is an unfucking real. It was 7-5. Now you blink, it's 8-5. There's a dude pitching. I walked away for a second. A second. Who is this guy pitching? Wonderful. Oh my God. I'm fucking done.
So then the Mets score 3 more runs. I'm
a Mets fan just so that guy will get pissed.
Yes. And we've got some Yankee stuff for our next episode. So maybe we'll revisit with Nick Tuturro. But so he's like complaining. He's like, I blinked and they gave up a run. He's like, great. 3 more. And you hear his wife in the background. 3 runs.
Yeah. Shut up.
Wonder if he's calling ice on her. All right. Well, we have to get to what I think is everybody's favorite part of the show. Well, after Bears is a great moment in broadcast history.
PTB, who are these broadcast history? Who are these broadcast history?
2020 was a wild time. So we were in the height of COVID in some places. Where I lived, you couldn't even go to restaurants. The beaches were closed. But there are some places that the pandemic wasn't really happening. Apparently, one of those places is whatever this lake is near Marquette University in Wisconsin. You'll see a complete lack of social distancing. There's no attempt at flattening the curve. But
yes.
These are these kids celebrating 4th of July in 2020.
Bitches and alcohol. Cocaine, alcohol, and bad bitches. Way cooler than coronavirus.
White Claw is life.
Don't listen to what the fuck she said. Cocaine, bad bitches, and alcohol is way cooler.
Do you guys know each other?
Yeah, she's one of my bad bitches from Marquette.
Yeah, this is one of my good friends.
What's your guys' favorite memory together?
I've ate her ass like 10 times.
Just the fact that he's just like, and look, if I'd eaten that girl's ass 10 times and I was age appropriate and she was willing, Dwyer Christian says they're siblings. So, so let's see her reaction.
I've ate her ass like 10 times.
Oh my God, Holden!
Independence Day!
So the idea that all she says is Holden, that means he's eaten her ass 10 times.
Right. Yes. I like how this drunk's about to talk. He's got his mask. Like, why even have the goddamn thing?
Well, that's I think that's the bit, the guy who's doing this. So the guy that does this, the channel at this time was called All Gas, No Breaks. That guy's name is Andrew Callahan. And his current project is Channel 5. If you remember when we were showing the rioting in Los Angeles, there was the guy in the ski mask.
Yes.
That's his channel as well.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So he's up to these things. So let's get a little bit more of 2020.
Independence Day! State champion! White Claw! What's up out here from the 309? I'm Pat Riley. We're out here doing Marquette shit, getting wasted. Beep, 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 back it up. You know what I'm saying? What's that mean? The dump trucks. The big booty bitches. Yeah? Yeah. I see that rock? I was just on that rock. I've been on that rock before. It's all about jumping off big rocks. To be honest, I don't think anything's on anyone's mind out here. No one's really thinking about.
Yeah. You see that rock out there?
Yeah, he just lost his train of thought. I am really surprised that there was a couple quality, actually quality looking chicks in that. Usually up there, they're all snow cows.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, look, again, I don't know. These ladies are all 5 years older. Maybe it's age appropriate. Maybe it's not. Yeah, I'm all right with that. Oh, that's right. You like Karen Carpenter. That's your.
Well, no, those chicks look good. I mean, a little young for me, but at the same time.
But the girl on the left is the one who will let you eat her ass 10 times.
Right.
So,
right.
Let's finish up with 2020.
Body shots real quick with the Truly. Fuck the brake fluid. We sitting fucking straight gas over here. And I got some gas for you later too, Andrew, for real.
White Claw! Independence Day! Everyone's just here for the whole day. Just, drink day beers, seltzers, whatever it is, shotgun beers. Happy 4th of July.
My thing with alcohol is no matter what I'm drinking, it could be top shelf tequila. It's gonna get me fucked up.
That'll cure Corona.
This is broccoli. Hey, hey. Little Yachty does feature in the song, but the main artist is Drum, and the song is Broccoli. It is featuring Little Yachty. You should really dive into him as an artist. He's a really good intellectual artist.
I don't know what that music is.
Any of you guys know someone with coronavirus?
I fucking don't.
So it might be a lie.
Okay, so I was gonna bring my mask. It's in the car. My mask is in the car.
A little bit of them have it, but we're gonna get through it. We're, strong, united country.
So the interesting thing is that we didn't know this at the time, but we do know now 5 years later, Eric, that the only way to beat coronavirus is to eat a college girl's ass. So that guy, I'm sure, is still with us. The one pun points out 2/3 of them are dead now.
If we're lucky.
Yeah, if we're lucky. And, we were dealing with so many issues over the last 2 weeks that I do want to give credit to the one pun who made a couple of AI images for us. So he made this sweet 100 WATB episodes image where you and I are riding bears.
It kind of says episodes, but AI, you never know. It's going to come out wonky.
Yeah, that's true. That does look like a beer. And then there's this one where we're just hanging out. You look like you. I'm not quite sure.
I look like, I think I'm a little heavier in that image. I actually made a T-shirt of the first one.
Yeah, and I thought that I had the link to it, and I guess you emailed it to me.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Now I'll take the other one too. I'll make a T-shirt out of that too.
Yeah, so you can actually get WATB 100 T-shirts if you want to remember that episode. Eric Zane will explain how you get them. Is it just your shop, Eric?
Well, what we can do, it is my shop, but it would be as easy as just putting a link in the show notes, frankly. And,
so you think I'm going to start doing show notes at some point?
Oh, you don't do show notes?
Yeah,
shit.
not so much, but probably a good idea.
I forget how to present. How do you present?
No, it's all right. I've got it here, and so
either way,
don't worry, Carl. We'll cut you in on the sales from your.
No, we won't.
Okay,
you kidding me?
I'll give him my cut. Yeah, here it is.
There you go. That's a T-shirt. It's on sale too.
It's only $16.
Yeah, you get all those different colors. You can get hoodies, shit like that.
I can't believe you could get hoodies for this. And obviously for the ladies, we want to click on the female fit. I think we probably need that.
Yes.
And, we can't get that as a hoodie though.
You can look at these guys. Yeah. And then JFK. Thank you, Zane. How much for the last kidney? $2. Thank you so much.
$2 is actually the answer to how much for the last kidney.
Troy says I can actually draw you something. We would love that. We would love that.
That might make for a better shirt. So, but
Dwyer says Lucy should model them. We would love that too. Holy cow, she's just lovely.
She
outstanding.
Is. Well, interestingly, considering the way that this show started, that is our show. And also, interestingly, now that I figured out the tech problem, it's not such a big deal, which is good, because if you love this show and you don't want to have to wait till next Tuesday to see it, we'll be doing another episode tomorrow, right at the same time, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. There are many clips that I didn't get to today because I couldn't figure out how to do anything. All I had to do is turn off my stupid fake screen. Imagine that was the reason, just so that I could pretend I was sitting.
It was crazy what was going on here. Jesus Christ. I was like, what could possibly be happening? But you got it together.
I did my best. That's what we can say, is that I did my best. But Eric Zane, let everybody know where they can find you.
Okay, you can download the audio of my shows, which I do daily, Monday through Friday, wherever you download shows. Just search Eric Zane Show Podcast. There it is. I'm on Twitch at Eric Zane Live. And you can watch it as I go live right around 10 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. on Friday.
And my personal podcast, The Blackcast. I don't have tech problems during that, BLADTCAST. And check out 100 Songs That Define Heavy Metal. hosted by Metal Blade Records CEO Brian Slagle. Our next episode will feature Chris Jericho talking about the Iron Maiden song Wicker Man, so you'll find that wherever podcasts are found. That is all the show that we could possibly do for today. So as always, this is Christian Bladt reminding you that every mic is a hot mic, and I sharted.